you ready?
Oh my god,
hey guys,
he still has
look what I
it.
got. Look what I have, guys.
Oh
look what
God.
I fucking bought. Look at
No!
that. Hey
He's
guys.
gonna eat me.
I bought this when I was hanging out with Toolman, because Toolman came and hung out at my house for like the whole week. So we went to go watch a movie like 2 days ago, and then there was like a candy store next door, and this was in there, and it was Pet Rat. So I'm gonna go ahead and slaughter this. Before we do, hey everybody, it's me, guys.
Wait, are you saying that you literally saved that so you can eat it during the podcast recording?
Hey guys, it's me. WattheWut. Welcome back to
Is
another
this
episode
racism?
of
Is
the
this
weekly
like actual
Weeb
racism
Club.
against me? Like, can I sue?
Joining me today are my
Is this a hostile work
co-hosts.
environment?
Joining me are my co-hosts.
Can I call the Better Business Bureau?
Joining me are my co-hosts.
Hi, I'm Craftsdwarf.
Who's that? Okay. I'm
my
Vindy
God.
Bondo. The one being
All
racially profiled against just because.
Oh
he's
no,
white.
you haven't been racially profiled yet, Vindy. Okay, so
Yay!
can you hear this? You hear that? Yeah, you hear that?
No.
Okay.
Slap me again.
There's this little fucker. I'm gonna fucking rip him out of his cage real quick.
Slap me again. Do it.
I'm now holding the rat. Oh my god, you're so stretchy, Vindy.
Are
What
you
the
recording
fuck?
this at least?
I am recording it in full video. Recording it. Your stretchy little
All right.
rat ass.
Hey, Craftsdwarf, have fun with that one.
Yay, more
Hey,
work.
Craftsdwarf.
How long is this
Hey,
episode going to be?
Craftsdwarf.
3 hours? Are we going to be recording it for 3 fucking hours?
I hope
Yes,
not.
you are.
I hope not.
Yeah. I
Comments?
got his fucking. No. I'm gonna cut off his fucking head.
Is that what
first.
you sound like when you eat normally?
No,
You're
only
just
when
like,
I eat
get
fucking
a
No,
bowl
I'll
of
give you
ramen,
what
you're
he
like,
sounds like.
only when I eat rats.
That's what he sounds
I
like.
got.
when he eats.
I have your fucking head, Vindy. I have
Yeah?
your fucking head.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Give it a little kiss. Hello.
Here. What the fuck? You're weird, dude.
Bro, if you don't kiss my head, like, are you trolling? Or
See that?
yeah, you're going to
See
give
that?
it a
There
little
it
kiss? A little kiss?
You see,
A little smooch?
This, huh? Oh my god, it's so fucking tough to eat. Holy shit.
All right, so comments. The first one would be the EWB that was what and I.
right. Which I haven't watched it yet, so I'm just
wow.
gonna... It's like 2 hours long. Excuse me for not having the time.
Wow.
Put the footage in the center. Put the footage in the center of this, because I'm gonna be eating this the whole time.
Okay.
I want to find one comment that I wanted to talk about. I don't know where it is, but I actually agreed with the comment that was made. Yes, from Ryu Rare right here. He says, TBH, this is the first Weeb Club that's a little too toxic for my taste at some points. Still good points made, though. I actually wanted to say I do agree. I think that EWB was maybe a little bit too toxic. Maybe just a bit too harsh on that man,
Hey,
even if his
Craftsdwarf.
video was terrible.
Hi.
Craftsdwarf. First of all, Vindy's illiterate.
Sad.
Why?
As that guy said, it's the first Weeb Club.
Uh-huh. I said Weeb Club when I read it out.
So, like, is it the first Weeb Club?
Well, no. I mean, the guy means anything on the channel or the first.
No.
Either way, I think it's the most toxic thing on the channel, and I do agree. Even though I was on it, it's probably a little too toxic.
It's really not.
I think it's a little toxic.
I could think more toxic things.
Well, your
existence,
yeah.
your life,
Thanks, Crafts.
every interaction you have with us.
High five.
I'm halfway through consuming this rat.
I watched the EWB, and like the one part of the video that I did think I was like, okay, this is a little toxic, a little too much, was when you all were like harping on the end part where he said, why is this character black? Like,
Yeah, you gotta
I mean,
admit,
like,
that was more just
that
our
was like
shock.
toxic when you were like,
That was more just our shock that he even did that shit.
I don't even.
Because
Can I be honest?
Joking.
Can I be honest? Like, can I actually be honest for a second? I was so drunk during that EWB, I actually don't know what Nun's talking about.
Well, at the end of
I
his
didn't watch
video,
it, so he
was
could have been lying for a bit, and I would have. I don't know what to think. Like, did he?
Well,
Well,
okay,
no,
so
that's not
explanation point at the end of his video was like there's a character who got a tan, and two, he was like, why is whatever his name
Okay.
black now? And then both of them
Oh.
kind of like talked about it for like 20-30 minutes or something. And it was, I mean, like, you can not think it's a good
It
joke.
was not 20, 30
whatever,
minutes.
but, like,
I remember
it
that. It was
wasn't
not
a big
20, 30
deal.
minutes.
Well, the funny part is that literally last week we had Vindy would be why are you brown, and then like the fucking the 4chan post with why are you black. Like I just immediately thought of that, and it's really funny to me.
You guys want me to review the rat real quick? The rat tastes.
Oh yeah,
like,
by the way, what be like that? You know, I'm not toxic, and then he literally buys an edifice of one of his friends to devour it live on recording.
it did not taste that good. I regret eating it.
And then he says it's bad. Vindy, do you hear this, man?
I mean, fitting.
I mean, I got a
It
rat
tastes
right
like
here. He can put in
betrayal.
his mouth. A rat head right here. He can put in his mouth and see.
But
how
let me
it
be honest
tastes.
about that moment. Let me be honest about that bit. Let me be blatantly honest about that bit. Because what happened was the entire time, we were like, there's no way he'll get racist in this video. There's no way.
Oh,
It's
that's
impossible.
true. I remember that. We were talking about how there's no way he could be racist because that was the whole joke was that he couldn't get racist.
And then literally the last second.
He found a way to
literal
squeeze
last
it in.
second. We found a way. And we were like, how in the fuck did he get racist? Not only that, but Vindy was like one thing away from another bingo. And that would have been racism. So we were just like, we couldn't believe it happened. So I think that's what magnified it. And I was exhausted in my room that's fucking hot as hell. Vindy was drunk out of his fucking mind and in pain.
I was fucked up that EW.
Okay.
It's okay because the Nunmanji, the quote unquote least toxic member of all of us, did an EWB with me. So we'll see how that goes.
So another one I want to point out really quickly because I actually want to say something about this comment that it's really
Okay,
important
alright.
that we make this point. No. Hold on. So Titania had a comment on the EWB as well that was, is it exclamation points ReZero video positive? And I think that like that's a big difference, right? And that's part of what I think having integrity is as like a content creator and as like someone who critiques, you know, especially for the EWB, someone who critiques, you know, other creators and discussion and things like that. And I think that's actually something we should look at doing in an EWB in the future is just because I agree with somebody doesn't mean that their video or their reasoning is good, right?
Oh.
Just because someone is saying that something that I like is good and that I would like it for X reasons doesn't actually mean that, like their video is good or what they're saying is good, right? Someone can be positive on like Little Busters and make a
No, I think that was
positive
the
video
case
towards
with the
Little Busters.
Hidamari
That was the
sketch
Underscope video.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
That was
Because he was basically saying Hidamari's sketch is good and feminist, and it's good. His points for why it's feminist weren't good.
I think it's like
yeah.
that used to be the shortest EWB because we were like for the first like
Half
dead
of it,
ass like
yeah.
half the video we were like, yeah, this is pretty good. That was a weird thing you said, but you know it's pretty good. And then immediately it went to shit, and we were like, oh,
There it is. That's why we're doing the CWB. But anyway, go ahead.
I have one more big comment that I do want to talk about, but I don't know if you have any. What?
I'm looking right now. Oh, I don't know if I want to read this one. There's a few. I don't know if I should read the one by Omni Bomni that says I'm autistic, guess I'm hot, nice.
Pod?
You know?
Okay, hearing comments from a video I haven't seen and don't know the context. That's funny. Anyway, keep going.
So what about this
Oh,
Christina Walker comment? Bully all white nerds. Good vid.
Ah!
I mean, yeah.
That's a sentiment I agree with, and I think everyone should uphold. If I see a white nerd on the street, they're getting bullied.
Craftsdwarf,
Yes,
no.
Yes, exactly.
Look, I'm gonna be honest. I probably deserve it.
No.
He is a white nerd after all. Can't get away with it.
I'm not
Hold
gonna.
on.
I'm not gonna defend any white nerds. Are you kidding?
But I'll defend you because you are my friend.
Oh yes, AAA said that we should probably move buzzwords to the center of the bingo since it comes up more often.
That's fair.
But here's the thing, though. It's specifically a what Vindy bingo, and for some reason, every what Vindy EWB has no passion in the video. Like, guaranteed. Like, for some reason, the fucker mentions...
You do be spitting.
It's incredible how it always happens. That's the thing that made the bingo funny. What was funny about it was that it's every single EWB me and Vinny do has everything on there. And we were like, there's no way this video that we're going to watch now has everything.
Okay, here we go. No drip, no sauce, no passion, no comedy, no male gaze, no functioning relationships, no Shonen before Dragon Ball, no romance, no cute girls, no gatekeeping, no good intentions, no sequels. This meme better keep going with every fucking EWB that comes out on this channel. It is probably my favorite thing that Weeb Club fans do is keep this shit going. And I want to continue to see it. Please.
If it stops, then you all fail.
If it stops, I'm actually leaving the Weeb Club. I'm doing what my predecessors have tried to do before me.
And now they're all going to stop doing it.
People don't want me to leave. I'm the reason they come back.
Vinny, what do you think about your decapitated head?
I wish that was me in real life.
Oh.
So we
God, there's like so many fucking big fucking like comments.
Dude, there's
on the
so many big comments. Did you read Hanalor's about
how
the show?
She like? Yeah, she mentioned how technically we're wrong because like technically the point isn't that they're using it for escapism. They're using it to confront their emotional like, you know, their emotional problems. And I think I kind of said that, so maybe it's more.
Well, I also think that like I would disagree with what they're saying because I think that you can confront your problems through escapism.
Yeah, like they kind of mentioned that like
the escapism is used in a way to like confront your problems in a different world, right? They're escaping to a different world to deal with their problems. It's not like they're like running away from their problems.
The point we're making is that escapism isn't bad, right? As long as you use it in a correct way.
Yeah. I definitely think it's still escapism. I just think escapism isn't always bad.
Yeah, it's unlucky, I think. Oh, you know what? No, there's one more comment on the UWB. By a certain Natty47. Hey, my teeth glow in the dark. We dark brothers. Let's go.
Oh, is that the context of the Reddit post? Something that came up on the EWB?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, because
I really don't know.
When the explanation point said why is Ishiki black now, I said so. Each explanation point. I know you've never seen an Asian before, but here's a little biology lesson. When I as an Asian go out in the sun, I get darker, and when I smile in the dark, you can only see my teeth.
No.
So, Okay, no, there's a post like that on the Reddit, and I was like, why? Okay, I mean, yeah, I meant what he is fairly dark in real life, but I don't. Why is this here? No, I don't mean that as a. God damn it, never mind. I hate you all. So if you guys are ready to move on to the weekly.
Yeah.
Okay, well, because before we get into comments, I want to say the reason there's like 2 minutes of missing audio is literally just because YouTube fucked up the upload. In my original render of the video, I still have that video and audio. I don't know what the fuck happened. That video came out late anyway. Because in that video it was just pain in general. But what were you gonna say, Vindy?
That happened to me with the fucking Overlord backlog. This motherfucker, what? I was like, I'll edit all the backlogs from now on. And this motherfucker, what, was like, make sure you add the fade in and out next time. Motherfucker, I put that shit transition-wise in the goddamn Premiere document.
How you doing?
I will go in right now and prove that shit was there. YouTube sucked.
Vinny, you shouldn't speak too ill of me. I consumed one of your brethren.
No, don't talk to me.
I could consume him again.
So yeah, sorry about the missing audio.
I'm opening up my Premiere file right now to prove it.
It's yeah, like there's nothing I could have done about it. Except re-upload the entire episode that was already late, and yeah, I'm sorry.
So there's a pinned comment actually on the weekly 4, where a certain individual named WattheWut laid down the terms. If this video gets 100 likes, I'll buy a titty mouse pad.
I get
I'm looking at the episode. Well, I'm looking at it. It only has 59 likes.
Okay.
So it appears
if this video gets 100 likes,
one does.
I will pick what's anime titty mouse pad. Pick it. Last time he would get to pick it. If this video gets 100 likes, what buys one and I pick who it is.
Maybe that was my mistake. Maybe because I didn't say it.
You didn't say it in the episode. If this episode gets 100 likes on YouTube, I decide what the What's Anime Titty Mousepad.
Here's a better deal. If all of the weeklies by the end of this week get 1,000 views, Vinny gets to choose the body pillow.
Oh, that's a big deal.
You know, they like to see us suffer. So that's, you know what?
Hey, you know me. You know what I do. I'm picking a good one.
It better be a Kirito or else I'm disappointed in you.
So anyway, I really relate to this comment by Guitar Skater. Vindy manga
Yeah.
organization skills 2, 1, 3.
Yeah.
None manga organization skills 25, 27, 26. And then y'all get on me for organizing manga. At least
Hold
it's
on.
in the
No.
right fucking order.
Yeah. I heard that.
Crafts
it was
is
so
playing
funny.
damage control already. This
It's
man
literally not
knows
damage
that
control.
every single person thought it was disgusting and deplorable how he organized his manga right to left, and he's trying to.
At least I know the
fucking
orders
back
the
up.
numbers go in.
I don't care what
true.
order they're in.
Consistency.
I put them on the shelf after I.
Yes,
read them.
you do!
I don't look.
The order mine are in, you definitely care about.
Hold on. Okay, I would rather them be in no discernible order, and they're just all a mess, and you have different series next to other series, and
Cringe,
things out
cringe,
of order,
cringe,
and them all
cringe,
over the place.
cringe,
and you order them right to
cringe,
left, like you're
cringe,
backwards.
cringe,
Because being
cringe,
backwards is the closest to
cringe,
being forwards, which is correct.
cringe.
Graphics, please clip this.
I
I care about what order I go in as
There
well.
are a lot of comments
For
about
example,
me being a manipulator. Do you have any?
on
of
this, but can we just say, I really like the 6-volume monohole. You know, I really like going in order for that
Shut
one
up,
as well.
Shut up.
However, I believe
You stop
that going
after
from right to
volume
left
1.
is
You
also
stop after
important.
volume 1. Stop.
I do
after
not
volume
stop
1.
after volume
You
1.
stop
Why
after
would I
volume
stop
one.
after volume 1? I don't even. I no.
You stop after
I do
volume
that one
1.
last.
Everyone knows that. Okay, well you do it. You still just admitted to doing it. So. Do you have any me being
See,
a manipulator?
that's a classic
comments?
Vindy manipulator
So
moment.
wait, hold on. You do that one last, which means you go out of order, even though you only brought it up so that. God, you're all fucking terrible.
He goes right to
None.
left, just like
Please
you.
speak up more. You're the only one I care about. I love.
Is
None.
this classic Vindy manipulator moment? Is he speaking?
Well, I don't have any comments, so no.
No, there's
Oh
one
my
for
God.
you. It's dedicated for you right here. It's dedicated for you
No.
right here. Break the glass.
I would argue every single Vindy manipulator or dark triad comment is a dedicated nun comment because that was his meme in the episode.
It is crazy though, by what Afros, how Vindy tried to gaslight everyone to think that what was the real manipulator. It is crazy.
You are
It
the
is
real
fucking
manipulator.
How am I the real manipulator?
No, you are. No, you are.
This is about to Weeb.
No, you
know what?
are.
Last episode of Weeb Club Part 4, the Ratsecution by Ronin 81s. Today, you're gonna be dead again. Now it's fucking Soul Society,
Nope.
and your soul's
Nope.
gonna get fucking
Can't kill.
consumed.
Can't kill what doesn't die, motherfucker.
This episode's gonna be called Rat Consumption.
You can't kill what's already dead inside.
I can eat it though. Consume it.
Well, that's scary. What was the one I was gonna read? Hold on.
Vinny might like this one by Oppo though, saying that are we sure that Nun isn't the real manipulator?
No, I was gonna read this one by Kage. There were two about it, but there was Kage Pros, which is Lamau Vindy's completely unrelated. Whoa, there's a Miku concert going on. Made me laugh because it caught me so off guard. And then Nakar also said, "Yo, gas on Vindy. Miku Expo 2021 was going hard AF." Yeah, it was. Dude, I was about to say this bitch changed costumes out of nowhere.
I thought you did.
Oh, maybe I did. I don't know. Miku Expo, banger of a concert.
You made at least one comment about it after the.
Oh
or after
yeah,
the fact that
dude.
you
I
were
was
watching
watching
so.
it. Once I found out Miku Expo was going on, that I was not paying attention to the episode. I was just watching Miku. I didn't
Here's
give a
my
fuck what y'all were saying.
Here's my thing, Vindy. What does Renru mean? My favorite streamer on Twitch.tv mean by Obama and Remy are cut from the same cloth.
I have no fucking clue what that means.
What does that even mean?
So, is it because did they by chance both transcend any shackles? You think?
Oh,
Okay,
that's
all right,
definitely what
all
it
right,
means.
Okay, all right, okay,
Okay, I have a
all right,
question
okay, all right.
about this comment. I need to ask either y'all or this man himself. But Hollow Man says, "Can't believe Vindy nearly Matt Damon demand for anime figure." What does that mean?
I was wondering what that meant
I don't know
too.
what that means.
What does that mean? How did I Matt Damon a man?
What is that? I don't know.
Is
'cause I
that
saw
okay?
that.
So is that about? So there are two things that could be about. That could be about me haggling the guy for the Haruka figure, or that could be about Nunmanji when I like put Nun under the spotlight for having like bad, you know.
See, because when I think of Matt Damon, I can only think of the one Hollywood, the joke about like how Hollywood has spent a lot of time trying to find Matt Damon with like Saving Private Ryan and The Martian. So I don't know what that means. Hollow Man, explain yourself. No, yeah, I saw it a while ago. It's funny.
There is one more thing I want to say. My friends, my fellow Americans. Here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. Good sir, good friends. Good sir, good friends, good buddies, good pals. The best part of Iron Man 2 is the introduction of the most perfect being to grace media, Don Cheadle.
Yes!
And his many words of the day.
Yeah.
We stand on Cheadle in this house.
Don Cheadle is pretty cool, guys.
You know what Don Cheadle is not? A theft.
What?
Man did not steal Gachi Gorilla's term of the day. All lies.
Look, all I'm saying is, if I go on Twitter right now, am I going to see Gachi Gorilla's terms of the day?
Gachi Gorilla ain't shit, bro.
You see right now, Gachi Gorilla term of the day. I got no results.
No results. But you look up Don Cheadle term of the day, you're going to get some results, bro.
You see, that's... Let me actually, for no joke, let me see if Don Cheadle fucking word of the day.
It's word of the day.
Oh, it's word of the day? Oh. Yeah. There's also no thing for Gachi Gorilla.
So if I look up Don Cheadle word, I just want this to be understood, okay?
Oh, yeah, instantly there's like 7 accounts,
yeah,
right?
I'm about to post a screenshot. I want this to be understood.
Yeah, you post a screenshot of Don Cheadle. I'll post a screenshot of Gachi
like,
Gorilla.
That's what I see. You know?
Yeah.
Look at how many Dons there are. Wording of the day.
Now look at that.
No results for Gachi Gorilla. I mean, I think it's pretty self-explanatory.
You know? If you gotta give us proof. I don't understand. I don't know. I saw...
Maybe Gachi Gorilla got banned from Twitter for being a little too generous with the N-word.
Maybe someone was a fake Photoshop expert in a video. Not gonna say who, but maybe someone. Fake Photoshop expert. What? Do you know who I'm talking about?
I didn't watch any
man,
videos.
Who could it be? It seemed like a fake Photoshop expert, though.
Sounds like someone's really good at crafting all their lies.
Crafting like a dwarf almost, you know what I'm saying, man?
Hey, I recorded lines. That's it. That's no. I have no responsibility.
Oh, so Craftsdwarf, you're saying your words have been
So you're saying someone pulled a dream over here and got a fake expert to prove their point? Oh!
I see. Interesting.
I didn't watch the video, so I only kind of know what's going on, like secondhand, from like hearing it discussed on the VidLauncher server.
Let's be honest. Both videos are really fucking funny. You actually should watch them.
Sad.
The physicist also didn't look at Dream's fucking document after he sent it to him.
There might or might not be a text-to-speech French voice for Megaraphics in the second video when he's debugging what Megaraphics says, and it might or might not be the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Well, he deserves it because he's French.
Look,
okay,
you know what? Actually, photoshopped Don Cheadle, or not Don Cheadle, Gachi Gorilla and Kanye West kissing on the mouth, and Putin and Kanye West and Gachi Gorilla kissing.
Okay, Shino Megaraphics leaves this fucking comment right where he's like, he tries to correct me. He says Rev. There's no S, right? Right? This fucker. I'm pulling out the fucking song lyrics right now. It's fucking Reve with La Festine, song by Kanye. Whatever the fuck. Fucking French people are fucking real.
Ratatouille song?
Yes! Right there! It's Rev! Hello? What's the S? When they sing it in the song, they don't pronounce that S.
Psychopath.
You have problems, and
what?
Can we move on
It's not a real language! It's not real!
Okay, tell me all about this. I didn't watch it. I'll admit to it. Tell me all about the other video.
Well, basically, basically the idea behind the podcast is we eventually want to get to playing the Pokemon games from every generation, starting with probably Red and Blue.
Mm-hmm.
But before we get there, we're sort of playing things that we know to have in some way inspired Pokemon. So the first one is Stand By Me. Or some are just ones that relate to Pokemon. Like I don't think Dragon Quest specifically inspired Pokemon, but it was like so important for console RPGs in Japan that it's it feels wrong to ignore it. And of course, Dragon Quest V has monster taming, which before it did that before Pokemon, which is also why we're playing Shin Megami Tensei, the first ones. It was fun. I liked it, and we have another one that will come out. The Dragon Quest one is already recorded. But as for the comments,
I will get to Sonic eventually, but not if he doesn't say no words this entire fucking episode.
I just had a terrible thought.
Isn't that most of yours?
No, because you said you're gonna watch all the things that inspired Pokemon, and my first immediate thought was they're gonna watch footage of slavery now.
Okay, can you
get him out? Ban him.
Look, I was right when I said all of your ideas are terrible.
What?
Like for example, you had the idea to start the Weeb Club.
That's actually not true. It was my idea mainly, but
well, okay, we can't. Okay,
okay, Vinny the manipulator's back at it again.
Hey,
holy
does it
shit.
count as manipulating if it's for a good cause?
None. Did you have any comments to read on the Pokemon episode?
I didn't read them.
Look, okay, well here's one by Master Spoon. I heard the inspiration for Pokemon was Satoshi Tajiri's hobby of collecting bugs in the forest. So I suggest you put going outside on the list.
Oh wait, I actually did see that one.
It's funny.
I remember that one.
It has it almost has more likes than the actual episode. It has 12 and the episode has 17.
It has 13 now.
Oh, 14 you mean?
Oh. I think this is interesting, which is one thing, by the way, about the Mother games. There's a bit of dev crossover from the Mother teams in Pokemon with HAL lending technical support for Gen 2. That's interesting.
Yeah, because I think after Dragon Quest is the Kamen Rider manga, which is a concession so that we're not watching 98 fucking episodes of Kamen Rider, a show that nobody I know likes.
Wow.
So
you're telling me that there's a Toku, aka all Toku, that nobody likes. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Anyway, but after that, the plan is to play Mother 1 and 2. And I think, I think it's similar to Dragon Quest, and there's no specific, inspirations, but I do think it's similar in some ways to Pokemon that I think are really interesting to talk about. And to non-spoil it, it's also ways in which Pokemon and the first two Mother games are similar to 20th Century Boys, which is kind of a wild tangent, but, if you've read it, maybe you have an idea, but, yeah.
So here's something I have, and this is just a thought that I have, and I'm sure people listening and fans will have after hearing this, right? Which is, y'all are playing all these different parts of all these series leading up to it, right? Like, you're playing Dragon Quest 1, you'll play Dragon Quest 5, you'll play the first Shin Megami Tensei, and you're going to play Mother 1 and 2. Do you have any thoughts or plans to return maybe to some of these series that you're going to play before Pokemon? Like, for example, right? Like, especially with Mother, I feel like if you're going to play Mother 1 and 2 and talk about those, it would make a lot of sense to also then play Mother 3 and talk about that as well, the two of y'all, right?
I mean, maybe as just, a side thing, but probably not for the podcast. Like, for me, I've actually played Dragon Quest 2 and 3 as well, not for the podcast, just because I wanted to, and I'm planning to start Dragon Quest 4 sometime soon. So, just because it's why not play all three, play the three Dragon Quest games that came out between 1 and 5 before we get to 5 on the podcast. So, and maybe we will do a video. I know Nun started Dragon Quest 3. I don't know if he's played any more since, but if he finishes it, maybe we'll just do a thing talking about it or something. I don't know.
You know what I think about that, Craftsdwarf?
No. What do you think?
Don Cheadle word of the day, worthless.
Wow. Okay. Only proving what I think is that you being the most toxic. So anyway, I'm ready to move on to the Reddit.
And when Craftsdwarf sees what talk, it's Don Cheadle word of the day, disappointment.
Yeah.
So there's this amazing post by Titania on the subreddit. Actually, 10 out of 10 posts.
You mean Lunar Gem?
That's Titania.
Oh, is it? I thought Titania had.
Is it really?
Yes.
No, Titania has another account.
Titania G. So
Lunar Gem was Titania. Said that they.
So
they
she has
said,
2 accounts.
Yeah, she had said on Discord already that she was Lunar Gem. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
If not, then I'm wrong and I apologize. But
I thought
I'm pretty
Lunar
sure
Gem was someone else. But okay.
I'm pretty sure it's the
It's
same
fucked
person.
up, Vindy. It's fucked up, Vindy.
No,
But
I
it's still a
think
really
they
great
are.
post.
If not, then I'm sorry, Lunar Jim, and I apologize. But I'm pretty sure it's Titania. Whoever it is in the comments, correct me. Tell me I'm wrong. Correct them. Tell them they're wrong. There will be a correct answer, and just let us know. But yeah, this post
Vindy
is
will
amazing.
manipulate the answer out of the mouths.
Say the N-word, Vindy.
Normies.
Yay!
Like the edits are really good on the Lunar Jim didn't just give Bart like the headband. There's full on like mouse ears and
Yeah, the
like
hair and everything.
It's
yeah.
really good. And it's funny.
Yeah, it's definitely funny as shit. I definitely really like it. I think it's really, really good.
And the other layer to it is obviously like, what's the N-word, right? It's like
right. But then it's like there's everyone else that's not just the three of y'all. That's everyone, with the We're All Normies meme, and it's really good actually. I think it's super. It's like a super good like choice of like meme format and super well done to adapt it to the Weeb Club, if that makes sense.
Should have Vinny.
yeah. But anyway, after that is the post I already mentioned about the
Yeah. POV. What is broken into your room at night?
God, I wish.
It's a little racist.
Huh?
I think it's a little racist, guys.
Can you break into my room tonight?
No.
I've been a bad boy. I need punishment.
Oh no. No, none of that, Mr. Manipulator. I know you're trying to
Why?
manipulate things in your
Why? What's
Guitar Skater, you need to have a talk. You need to have a talk, Guitar Skater, about this.
well, at least he likes the hottest girl in Black Clover by
That's
a lot.
wrong. That's
No, I'm
wrong.
not. It's
I
not.
mean,
It's
it's
literally
correct.
not.
It
You're
is
not cut up.
correct.
You're not cut up.
Vanessa?
You're not cut up.
Vanessa?
You're not cut up.
Vanessa?
No,
You are not caught
Catch
up.
up.
You're not
Catch
caught
up.
up. You're not
Catch
caught
up.
Vanessa?
Catch up to the manga.
Vanessa?
Catch up to the manga.
Vanessa?
Catch up to the manga.
Vanessa? Asta? Asta?
Noelle is literally
Vanessa?
wet at all times,
Asta?
Vindy, so I don't even understand. Dude,
Vanessa?
I want to fuck Asta and his Asta.
Okay.
Anyway, the last one is also really great.
I
Yeah.
actually love it.
Yeah,
I
well,
hate how easy it is to make Ratatouille memes since I'm
you brought
already
this
a
upon
rat,
yourself.
but it's so good.
You brought this upon yourself, you fucking rodent.
How? How did I bring it upon myself? Tell me.
Because you deserve
Did I
it,
come up
you
with calling
fucking-
me a rat? Was that
You're a
my
manipulator.
decision?
You're a fucking manipulator.
Did I
You
come up
probably
with the idea
manipulated
to
things in your
manipulate
favor.
people? Possibly,
Yeah.
but I didn't say
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, so that about calls it for the Reddit. So, whose idea was it for the topic? Because they can introduce the topic that they had the idea for.
Yeah, whose idea was it, guys?
I think it was you. So,
Whose idea was it, guys?
fucking do it, I swear to God, you motherfucker.
Are you trying to manipulate me as well right now?
Yeah, bitch. I'm not gonna hide like Vindy is.
I don't know what.
Craftsdwarf did not like when I said that he was gonna watch footage of slavery. So you know what? Maybe this is correct. But anyway, today we're gonna be talking about, since there is an announcement that Zack Snyder said he would be interested in directing a Dragon Ball film.
Not specifically. He said like any Dragon Ball or any live action anime. Because I did watch the clip, and he also said. He also said that he watches anime with like one of his kids who, so it's something he just watches at times, and he's like, yeah, that'd be fine.
I just had the horrible idea of a Zack Snyder Love Live film.
That'd be Pog, actually.
That would be the fucking. What
That
would
would
that
be so
even
Pog.
be?
Love
But yeah, I
Live
guess
actually
so.
good for once.
The topic is, I
Okay.
guess, like maybe no, it doesn't have specifically have to be Zack Snyder, but yeah, just live action adaptations in general.
So, I guess, the first thing I'll say is like, even though I haven't seen a lot of Zack Snyder movies, I actually think that Zack Snyder is someone I would rather see over maybe anyone else that like I can think of that has expressed interest in doing animated movies or anime adaptations, doing them, because I think at least Zack Snyder will like make something different, right? Because I think, and here's something that I thought that was really interesting, and it actually ties into E3 being this week, but at Gearbox's thing,
Was
they
such
talked a
gamer,
lot
dude.
about the Borderlands movie that's being shot right now, and what they said was that they're trying to just make a good sci-fi movie, right? Their goal isn't to make a good, they're not trying to make like a good video game movie. They're trying to make a good sci-fi movie in the Borderlands universe, right? And I think that that's kind of like the way that I think a lot of people, I think, don't think about it. when they make a lot of there's a few things to talk about with that, but I think in a lot of cases it's like they're trying to just make like a good live action anime adaptation, or that's like all it's seen as. And I think that a lot of times it's like I would at least trust Zack Snyder to make like a movie that's like, like he would do something like the DC Extended Universe, which you can talk about whether or not you like it or not, but at least that would be different enough from Dragon Ball or any anime property probably that he would make it from to stand on its own as its own thing, separate from the manga or the anime.
I mean, like, you could technically say Dragon Ball Evolution tried to do that because, like, Goku went to school in that movie and stuff, so it's like, I don't know. I don't think that it's just like...
I think there's a little more to it than just that, because, like,
sorry.
it is such
like,
a weird thing.
I don't think other live action films haven't tried to do that, like, tried to not just adapt the thing, but, I don't know.
It's just, it's a difficult thing, because the problem with making a quote-unquote, like, live-action adaptation of most things is that you are at odds with the fact that most things were created for the medium that they were originally set in. Like, manga and anime are at least at least somewhat related in the fact that one of them is basically just kind of turns the manga, the still images into moving pictures with a sound and all that stuff, right? Moving from an hand-drawn medium to then a live-action medium where you are now removing such things as, like, suspension of disbelief, the freedom of what you're able to do because of, like, you can draw literally whatever you want versus you're constricted by the, like, technological limitations in real life. When you're adapting something in, a live-action adaptation, you're kind of stuck. But the thing that's in Zack Snyder's favor, at least as a director, is that Zack Snyder's films are very much like, they're more CG than anything else, and also they're very stylistic. So, like, at least in that case, he would have like a leg up because it would be more stylistically closer to what the original thing is.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, because, like, kind of what you were talking about, but, like, because I think even with anime and manga, is a big part of their appeal is, like, that they're not real, right? Like, the way the characters act, the way it looks visually, like, even just for something like a slice of life thing or something more grounded, it's still very much sort of, leans into the fact that it's fantasy, that these characters aren't real, and that's, why a lot of people, like, gravitate towards it. And yeah, so when it with a live action film, it's kind of like what you were saying. It is more grounded. So like you can't do, like, say Demon Slayer got a live action adaptation. For an audience who isn't familiar with it, doing, like, having Zenitsu use, he's not actually shooting lightning from his fucking sword, right? But it's a visual thing.
Breathing really hard, homie.
Right. It's just more of a visual metaphor to get across, like, his sword techniques, and that maybe isn't going to translate as easily in a live action medium, right? And maybe there are ways that, not that it's impossible, obviously, but it's just something that would have to be considered, and especially for an American audience, which is going to look at stories kind of a different way, I would think.
The hurdle is way higher is the problem.
And I guess, like, I understand when a lot of people are like regarding even the breathing the idea of live action anime adaptations, because obviously a lot of them aren't good, but there are ones that are good, right? Like, off the top of my head, I haven't seen Old Boy, the Korean version, obviously, not the more recent one. And I did see Ichi the Killer, and I liked it.
Yeah. Well, I think so. Okay. I think one thing we have to explain before we even get super into this conversation, especially to talk about the idea of Zack Snyder or to mention Dragon Ball Evolution or the Western Death Note, is the difference between the way that the West and then, like, Japan specifically, but I guess the East as well, adapts things, right? So when you get a Western adaptation of a comic book, right? And I mean, Crafts, we talked about this with Invincible, right? Where Invincible felt very different from a lot of other Western comic book adaptations, where a lot of Western comic book adaptations, like the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies, or even the MCU to a large degree, they take these ideas and these characters,
or even storylines from the comics,
right.
But even then they don't really like adapt them one-to-one like
one-to-one, right?
Like Invincible kind of is, right?
Yeah,
which I mean, it still changes things, but anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, and so it's very much about taking the spirit and the idea of these things and then adapting it into a movie, right? So it's about turning what you would get from if you read a bunch of Spider-Man comics into a movie, or what you would get if you read a bunch of different Marvel comics into a series of movies, right? As opposed to something like your typical anime adaptation, which, not that I think it should be used as a substitute for the manga, but it uses the manga as a base and does adapt it very one-to-one, or adapts, this is what's in the manga, and we're going to follow this through from beginning to end. We're going to go boom, 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 boom through what the manga does. And I think that because of that, you already get differences in terms of how a lot of Japanese live action anime adaptations, and then something like Dragon Ball Evolution or Death Note or something Zack Snyder would do. Right?
Yeah, were those two examples that did happen there? Yeah, they are kind of. I mean, I haven't seen I haven't seen either of them, but from what I've heard, they are more in the spirit of like, yeah, taking the idea of the characters and setting and kind of doing almost not quite an original thing with it, but not a one-to-one adaptation.
Right, a very different. Right.
Yeah. Which of course, like, well, part of it is like I remember hearing the Death Note one described as like a typical Netflix like horror movie. Just it actually, so specifically I heard some people talking about it who had watched a lot of those already, and so like even if it's it's not recognizable as Death Note, like what it is like makes sense from where it's coming from basically. And with Dragon Ball, I didn't even know it took place in school, but my first thought when I heard that was like, okay.
I mean, it doesn't take place in school,
okay.
But I know
Gotcha.
that like Goku is a student, and there's like a girl who's like I know there's a scene like near a school or something like that.
No,
okay.
he goes to school.
Yeah,
well, I
They
think
fight outside the school.
and that made me think of because what year did it come out? 2004,
2009.
It's
like,
Yeah, I
it's
thought it was
like
it
it was later. Oh no, yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's 2009.
But
it's similar to things like I Am Number 4 and shit like that, where it's
I
like,
was thinking more like
None
just
was right. None's really smart. Give him
yeah.
a kiss.
I was also thinking because we were watching like Spectacular Spider-Man. I was thinking Symbionic Titan, Danny Phantom. Just the Raimi Spider-Man, where you have a lot of these superhero characters in high school, and a lot of popular examples from the 2000s. So, Dragon Ball being that kind of makes sense, right? Even if it, it doesn't, obviously, but it kind of does. And maybe there was more to it because, again, I haven't seen it, so maybe there's more going on. But, these adaptations are also kind of a product of when and where they happen to occur, but at the same time, like we are, I do think, people are generally becoming more aware of and accepting of anime, which is interesting. But I don't know if that will have any major changes to upcoming live action adaptations. Cause like I know the Cowboy Bebop one was trending a little while ago. The One Piece one, the Hollywood, series is still a thing that appears to be happening. And
why?
Well, I'm gonna approach him with an open mind if I ever watch. Probably not Cowboy Bebop because I didn't even care. I mean, I'm fine with the original. I just like it's like, eh. But One Piece, it's like, well, I'm a One Piece
sleepers.
fan.
Can I get any resident sleepers?
Well, and we talked about this. Actually, I mean, we talked about this the other day, right? Wait, no, I don't even know. Hold on, give me a second. My brain stopped working halfway through. I was saying, just keep talking.
You know.
Just ignore me. I'm sorry. Ignore me.
Yeah, so it's like, and again, given the examples I had, even though both of those examples were made, in Korea with Old Boy and Japan with Ichi the Killer, I don't want to say like, oh no, there can never be a good American live action adaptation. In fact, well, I guess to use an example that's more of a departure, Edge of Tomorrow was based on a light novel.
All you need is kill. It's a manga.
Manga. Okay, it's my bad. And
it's also better than the manga.
Yeah, I like the movie. I haven't read the manga, but I like the movie. So it's definitely not impossible. I think it's like I guess that's what I was trying to think of is like what would be a good fit for Zack Snyder specifically, because I haven't watched. I watched Man of Steel, but I haven't seen the rest of the DC extended universe or expanded universe or whatever it's called. I know it's pretty contentious, and from what I can hear, there's I don't know, seems to be dumb people on both sides. But I don't have I don't have a problem with a lot of what I've heard, honestly.
Zack Snyder should do Code Geass.
Yeah, actually, that would be hilarious.
No, sorry, because you talk what? You talk what?
If Zack Snyder did Code Geass, maybe Code Geass would be good for once.
Okay.
Huh?
Cringe.
Well, so what I think is that what matters. So here's the problem that I have with a lot of these live action anime adaptations is that anime fans are so cringe. Anime fans might. Oh no! I'm gonna be honest for a second. I actually think anime fans are more cringe than anyone else, right? Because they're the ones that are gonna be like, Goku doesn't go to school. He doesn't know how to read. Or those things just the most cringe bullshit, right? They'll actually unironically in the live action Death Note be like, why is L black? They're so fucking cringe about this shit being because they're so used to the anime being the exact same as the manga that if you take the idea of a story and the tone of a story and you adapt it, it's so immediately hated that I think I would be really interested to see I would like to watch actually more live action anime adaptations and see, okay, do they keep the tone of the story and some of the core themes of the story and adapt it? I know in Nunmanji we're going to watch the Gintama live action movies at some point. I would like to watch maybe some of the other ones. I know there was a Bleach one. I know there was an FMA one. And I think the Japanese ones are very different because those seem very much like they're very low budget. And, you see really shitty CG in them. And so those are maybe lower budget stuff. But I mean, I know Crafts, we said we're going to talk about the One Piece one when it comes out. And so I would love to see what comes of it. But I think either way, it definitely is a thing where it's I think anime fans are just instinctively going to hate it because it isn't going to be an anime or manga. It's going to have to be changed to be a live action series. So.
No, yeah. Well, that's why I was kind of saying they get a lot of negative stuff, but I don't see why something good couldn't happen, even if at least from I can't think of any English live action adaptation that was actually good off the top of my head.
I mean, I don't think Death Note live action was just straight up bad. I thought it was okay, kind of. It's hard to judge it because I definitely did do the thing where it's it's very different, so it's kind of weird. But I did think it had something going on with it that was I don't know, it kind of made sense to me why they did some of the things they did, I guess. Instead of Light being a genius or
he was an incel.
He was kind of more of a fuck up, I guess, and he was kind of more a loser, so that
yeah.
I mean, it was weird to watch, but I don't think I don't know, it's hard to describe, I guess, but I would want to watch it again because I do think trying to look at it as a movie that just takes some ideas from Death Note without trying to be Death Note would be a more interesting way to look at it.
Yeah, as opposed to because I think it is so easy to get into that mindset of looking at it well, this isn't Death Note, and this doesn't have this idea and this idea from Death Note, so it's bad. And I think that's what a lot of anime fans and a lot of critics as well, and anime tubers and other things like that, will so quickly get into the mindset of, because it's so easy to do, because then you can just turn your brain off, right? You don't have to actually give the thing a fair shake, right? And I mean, I'm not saying, I'm sure that in the past I would have done it too, and I kind of did it too when I first watched Death Note live action, but I think that it's so easy to just discredit something based on these things and be really lazy about it, right? And then I think it would be interesting to go back and look through these with a smarter, I guess. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to completely interrupt you.
No, it's fine. It'd be funny if we watched Dragon Ball Evolution and actually thought it was okay, as a movie itself.
I would actually no, hold on. I would actually love to start a series on the Weeb Club that's every once in a while where we watch a live action anime adaptation movie, like we watched Dragon Ball Evolution. We watched especially for the stuff that we've all seen, right? We watched the Bleach live action adaptation. We watched, we watched Dragon Ball Evolution. We watched Death Note. We watched. I know there was an Assassination Classroom one. I know there was a Japanese Death Note one.
Alchemist.
Full Metal Alchemist. Yeah, I think we could talk about a lot of these, and I actually think that would be really interesting content.
You think there are people in Japan when they watched the Full Metal Alchemist film, and they were like, "Hold on, why is Ed Japanese? He's white."
Actually, probably not as many percentage-wise as there were here. But I would be willing to bet that no matter where you are, there are cringe people with the same cringe takes in any language.
Yeah, I would assume, obviously less, partly because just, Mukoku Seki is kind of, more, known over there. I remember, apparently there was a poll where people were asked, what Goku's race was, and they just said he was Saiyan. Because, of course he is.
Base.
So,
Base.
Right, where I think especially for if you were watching it as a kid, you're probably gonna assume because they're lighter skinned characters, you're going to assume that they are whatever is normal, and so I think for Americans that's going to be white, where in Japan
crackers are not normal.
That's probably going to be Japanese, right?
Yeah,
right?
And especially just because there's that level of abstraction where and I don't know about y'all. But I definitely feel like the more I watch a lot of anime, the more I can understand how the anime aesthetic comes from, I guess the Japanese face and facial features and things like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense? Sorry,
okay.
I feel like that might be bad to say, but no.
Well, okay.
I can look at a Japanese character in an anime, right? And even in Code Geass, right? You can look at characters like Lelouch, right? Or not Lelouch isn't a great, but Suzaku or you can look at characters in a slice of life anime, and people say, "Oh, well, they're a white
Lelouch
character,"
is white,
and I can look at them and I can see that they're an Asian character, right? And they're an Asian person by certain ways that their features are changed to fit the anime aesthetic, while still keeping intact, I guess. The aspects of Asian, faces and things.
I feel like Square's CG cutscenes and a lot of things really do that really well. Where there's no way you could think that's a white character if you looked at that.
Yeah, when you see in the Kingdom, are you talking about the Kingdom Hearts cutscenes when you see Sora or Riku?
Yeah,
I'd agree. Sora looks so fucking Asian in Sanctuary.
Well, I guess another thing that I was just thinking of is because obviously the response to keep people going, anime characters look white, is look, if an anime wants you to know that a character is white, they will fucking let you know, because guess what? They're probably gonna have blonde hair, blue eyes, cowboy hat, America print clothing of some kind.
There's also changes to the face. I've seen anime where it's you can tell, actually, this might sound bad, but you can tell that the characters that are meant to be white literally have bigger eyes.
Yeah, or bigger, or more notable nose. They
make differences in the face.
Like I said, they'll let you fucking know. But I guess another thing as I was thinking of is just because, there's going to be certain racial traits that aren't as common. So, for example, if you look at the character on the left and look at her teeth real quick. I've heard this before. I never looked it up, but apparently, you know how characters will have fangs drawn, anime characters?
Yeah, cute little ladies. Yeah,
that's meant to be a sort of artistic abstraction of the way her teeth are on the left, basically. So, I never knew that, and because I don't think that's a common way for teeth, or or an uncommon way. I've never seen someone's teeth like that in America. Right, but in Japan, I guess, I don't know, it's cute, maybe? I don't know.
Well, and part of it is, and part of that even comes down to, I think America is the largest country where braces are a huge thing, right? I know in a lot of European countries, specifically Britain, right, it's even a meme, right, that British people have fucked up teeth.
Right, when their teeth are perfectly healthy, places, they just don't care about having them be as straight,
right,
straight and white. Huh, yeah. Interesting.
Right. Okay, well, now you're taking it to a level that I don't know if I would, because I don't think it's about that.
All right, guys. Thank you for watching
Well,
another
here's-
episode of
okay,
Weeb
wait,
Club.
hold on. I want to find something that I don't know if I can. Okay, I found it. Let's fucking go. I was able to find it. So I would say that without a doubt, like when I look at Naruto and Sasuke, to me they look like Japanese men, right? And I think that what's also super telling of that is during the Naruto and Sasuke fight in the manga, when Kishimoto did a color spread that was Naruto and Sasuke, and he drew them like realistically, like these look like Japanese men, right? Like these aren't, Western men. So even though you could say like, oh well, Naruto has blonde hair, it's like okay, but they fit like these natural conventions of the anime like aesthetic. That the anime aesthetic is meant to fit like like an Eastern face,
Right.
And
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess another thing, because I did watch this video recently. The Cynic Clinic did a video on anime lip sync, and I thought it was interesting because basically what his reasoning was for why anime lip flaps, like obviously there's production reasons, but he sort of brings up an interesting point where it's like matching the lips to the dialogue isn't as big of a priority in the typical Japanese production. And then he kind of goes like, but why is that? And basically from what he showed is that like Japanese just has less like sounds in its language, right? Like there's only 5 vowel sounds. So, if you're just to talk in Japanese, your mouth is just moving less than if you're talking in English. So so even though that's not a way like a character design would be drawn, like it's, the way art happens is it's derived from reality, right? So like, so basically the reason anime lip flaps are the way they are is because they don't need to be as animated when, the language doesn't have as much movement of the mouth in the first place, right? So it makes sense that the way anime is stylized, is going to, like especially for like you said, characters who are Japanese, it would make sense that it's spawned from reality, even if it is very abstracted to a very stylistic point, right? So, just as a sort of another tangential example, but, one that I do think adds to the point. But that's not even related to the original topic anymore.
No, but I mean, I do think it's an interesting thing to bring up that I think a lot of people don't talk about in the, community. And I do think it matters in terms of when you talk about a live action adaptation, because, again, it does go back to, I think, a lot of these super, and I mean, look, it's obviously not everyone, I'm sure that there was probably a larger majority or a large majority or a large grouping of people who probably have watched the live action Death Note or will watch live action One Piece or watch other things like that and just be excited they exist, watch it. They don't talk about it online. They don't talk about it in other places, right? They just sit there and enjoy it.
Maybe they talk about it with friends or family, but, they're probably not,
but when you start talking about it with people online, and you talk about the online community and the way that they talk about it, a lot of them are very cringe and very much, if it's not exactly what I've seen already, then it's bad. But, like, here's my question. Why would you want a live action version of the show or the manga that I've already watched or read? Like, why would I want that? That would literally be a waste of my time, right? Like, I don't want to watch the anime of a manga I've already seen. That would be a waste of my time. Maybe I'll watch clips on YouTube. Maybe I'll watch the show if I really feel like it. But for the most part, it's like, it would be a waste of my time to do that, right? Why don't I instead do something different? Why don't you give me something that's similar but different enough that I feel like I'm getting my time out of it,
Yeah. Or what were you going to say, what?
I didn't say anything.
You said,
No, that was Vindy.
I also think that
Oh,
it's
was
like
it?
really cool in a sense when like two different materials of the same story are different, because like you can get the same ideas but done in different ways, and like from that you get like a lot more variety and like interesting things to think about, and like kind of you can appreciate different versions of things. But with like anime and manga being the same, one of them's just more than likely going to be like just better than the other one. So like,
you'll get like a middle ground where like there's maybe some scenes or moments that are better, but overall like it's not like I've been thinking about that a lot with One Piece right now, where it'll probably do some really good episodes or adapt some moments really well. But I'm at the end of the day, I'm going to prefer the manga because overall it's still better. But then sometimes you do get anime adaptations where like it overall is just like better, right? Like Heian or Hidamari Sketch, as much as I like the original manga. But
so here's my question, and I want to know how and I guess you as well, Crafts. I want to know how both of y'all think about this. But like, would you say that like a really good example, right, of the same idea or almost even story arc being done in two different ways that I assume both of y'all have seen semi-recently. I know at least none has seen recently. Would be the way that the symbiote is handled in Spider-Man 3 and Spectacular Spider-Man, right? Where both series, like, so Spider-Man 3 handles it in one way, and Spectacular Spider-Man handles it a very different way, but it's interesting because you're able to see the same story beats and story ideas handled in a different way, and that you could do that with live-action anime adaptations, as long as it wasn't trying to just be a live-action version of what's already been done.
No, yeah, well, like, because, you know, obviously, like, Medium is, like adapting, you know, a 12-volume manga that was a 39-episode anime or whatever into, like, a single movie, like, something's got to change, right? Like, it doesn't work.
Yeah, like, you're not going to make, like, a long shonen like Dragon Ball into several movies to adapt the whole thing, so it's just, like, even one arc in a movie is just, like,
right,
kind of difficult.
Like, I
unless
think,
it's really
a good example is looking at, like, comparing the One Piece Alabasta movie to the One Piece Drum Island movie, and, you know, they both, like, the Alabasta movie is just, like, a stripped down version of the arc, you know, to the point that I don't even know if it's watchable if you haven't already gone through the material. The Drum Island one adds some things and makes some other changes that are happen and are, you know, but it's a shorter arc, so I do think it overall works better for a movie format, right? But even then, you know, and obviously, like, I think, you know, Gintama, the Benizakura movie, was pretty good, you know, so it's like, it's definitely possible. But also, like, in the case of Gintama, that also kind of relies on knowing the rest of the story, right?
Right.
So it's not like, doesn't work as a standalone movie. And so, like, so it's like, so yeah, adapting a single arc and also having it be like a standalone story where you know all these characters, or you're introduced to all these characters, like, that's an even bigger ask, right? So,
and, like, you don't even know if you're gonna get more than one movie or more than, like, like, even if you get, like, the most you can get, like, 3 movies or something, you just don't know how much you're gonna get, so it's just, like, at that point,
yeah, like,
it's just hard to figure out what to do if you want to be accurate.
No, that makes sense. No, I understand that completely.
Right, and because, like, I do sometimes think it's like, okay, what would the best way for, you know, this to be adapted? Because obviously, like, maybe a TV season might be more manageable because they'd have more time. Right, like, I believe the One Piece one is going to be a series, not a single movie, which, you know, for One Piece, that just makes sense because it's just too much. It's too big of a series. So, you know, I don't think a movie would work very well. But I don't know. So I guess to go back to go on.
Oh, I mean, I was just going to bring up how, you know, with source material, like, one thing being different from another in, like, another medium. I've read some of the, like, the Adventure Time comics, and, like, those stories aren't in the show at all, but, like, they're really good, and so it's just, like, I just, you know, I get a lot out of that, and, like, you know, I've read some of, like, the Sonic IDW comic, and, you know, no other Sonic thing has any of the stuff in there, but it's, like, really good, and it was, like, really cringe when I saw people, like, talking about how they want the new cartoon series to adapt that, when it's, like, I'd rather get another new original Sonic thing that's good, because the comic's already doing what it's doing really well, so it's just, like...
So... Okay, so I then actually have a question this time for just you, Nun. Which would be, like, how you think the which I guess, you know, not anime related, but how do you think the Ninja Turtle shows handle, like, that idea with what you've seen of the different ones?
Well, like, generally all of the Turtle shows do kind of, like at least with, like, 2012 and 2003, they all, like, kind of have points where they converge. Like, they almost, like, like, both of them have, like, you know, a part where one of the turtles... Well, actually, all of this... I'd probably say almost every Turtle series has this, but, like, where one of the turtles gets really hurt and, like, injured and are, like, out of it. Like, in the original movie series, that was Raph. In 2012, that was Leo. But like, it's kind of cool how, you know, even with that same like concept, they make it a different turtle, so it's like already in a different context and kind of like means a different thing. Like, in the original movie series, you know, obviously Raph getting hurt, Leo feels some kind of way as the leader, and like in 2012, when Leo gets hurt, Raph's like kind of frustrated that his brother's hurt, and he's kind of like, you know, feels bad for him, and kind of, you know, just in general, they always kind of like the turtles themselves kind of feel bad for not listening to Leonardo in 2012, because, you know, he kind of went off by himself because they weren't following his plan. So it's like, it's cool how, you know, it, like, even if they're taking like the same idea, they'll always do it differently. So you know, I think every Turtles thing does that really well.
Cool.
Did that answer your question, or
No. It did. I was curious about it in terms of like, because I do think Turtles are an example of a series where it has the, you know, an original and it gets adapted in a bunch of different ways. And I think that it while it probably isn't, you know, the only example, I think it is a possible like way to look at the way that you know, anime could be adapted live action wise, right? Where you have these different series and you know, I'm pretty sure the One Piece one's like a show, right? So that could be even like more looked at as like the way like a Turtles will handle like maybe a shorter show as opposed to a longer show or an original and different things like that.
I think the issue with like a lot of it is just that like again, we mentioned this, is like, you know, how like anime has like such like a lot of times, because of the way otaku culture kind of is, there's such a really big like identity that people have with the thing being adapted exactly the way the thing is. Like, there was a Kamen Rider Drive episode where like one of the monsters was actually an otaku who was just so angry that like the voice actress for the character was being cast differently or something like that.
Right.
Where it's just little things like that. So it's just because otaku culture kind of is that way, with anime it kind of shares that culture. But also we have things like the live action Avatar: The Last Airbender, and where we have this series that like they kind of try to adapt all these things at once, which they can't. And apparently, according to like news outlets, Michael DiMartino and the other writer for the original Avatar series were originally on board for this new Netflix adaptation that they're doing.
oh yeah,
but
they weren't listening.
but
to
they
them.
left. They left it,
Yeah.
which does not bode well, because they were like saying how apparently it's like they were just not like adhering to the vision or whatever. So like, you know, there's obvious things like the fact that they're aging up Katara because they really want to do Zutara super fucking hard. And
Oh,
also,
that's fucking cringe.
oh yeah, no, it's really obvious because like if they age up Katara and they still have her be with Aang, that's
Poggers!
Grooming poggers. Let's go.
I want an older woman to beat me up. Poggers.
Oh my god.
Mommy MILFs. Poggers.
Oh. But like, you know, there's just little things like that, right? Where it really depends on like if you're going to adapt something, you have to, if you want to like avoid pissing people off, you have to kind of fundamentally change things about it.
Uh-huh.
Which is why like things like fundamentally change things while also like keeping the spirit, which something that like anime has a hard time doing, because like unlike with comics where technically speaking there's different iterations of the timelines of different writers and different things like that, or with the Turtles for example, where like already from the get-go it had already changed fundamentally from how it was adapted so it could stand to be changed throughout the years. Like, you don't have that with anime as much. There's already this very permanent identity of what the thing is in the people's minds. So like once you
like there's no way to really reshape culture as a whole to make it like really easy to be able to, you know, do whatever you want with the kind of ideas that the source material set up. So it's just kind of like,
Yeah, because like with Edge of Tomorrow, it worked because Edge of Tomorrow fundamentally changed things about the story while also just kind of keeping it to its own thing. Like it made the film, like the very world more grounded for the sake of like watching it in a live action film. It made it more like Western sci-fi film than what All You Need Is Kill is. So that worked in that case. We also have things like Scott Pilgrim versus the World, where it's like that film, it really tries hard to achieve. It is the same. Like it's an Edgar Wright film. Like it really, like at the end of the day, it is an Edgar Wright film. More, first and foremost, with stylistically and everything. So like even it still achieves something by being like keeping the spirit, but fundamentally being something else. So you can still pretend that you can still like separate it in your mind.
What movie are you talking about? I'm sorry.
Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I agree.
So like with Invincible, like it's more akin to like an anime adaptation.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
So it's like for a live action adaptation, it's just gonna be like it's fucked for anybody trying because you have to make it so different but still somehow retain the spirit inherently, which is just like very few people have been able to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's just fucked. So like, because when you look at like the Last Airbender, aside from the cringe fact that like Katara and all the people from the Northern Water Tribe are now white, right? And they,
that was in the movie. I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're white for some reason. I don't know what you're thinking about that, M. Night Shyamalan, but there's other things like
Sorry, continue.
I legitimately think production design wise, the Last Airbender kind of like their costumes, and especially like Aang's like the tattoos look really good, right?
Yeah, well, I
like
think
the way
what's
they
so
adapted.
funny about the live action Avatar is that like I almost don't even think I can call M. Night Shyamalan a racist for turning the Water Tribe white because he made the Fire Nation like fucking Indian, which he is. So he made
also the
his
evil
race
bad guys.
the bad guys. So like, can
So I
you
don't even know
really
what's
say
happening
that
there.
he's like racist, or is it
You could
just,
say
like,
it's some
is
Uncle
it
Ruckus
his
shit, you know?
perception of like the way that the West, is it like his perception of the way the West views movie audiences? Like, there's so much to unpack there.
Maybe that's the plot twist, right? Okay, so there's like little things that I noticed people were getting mad about, right? So people were getting mad about the pronunciation of Aang or like Zhao, but if you actually listen to like the fucking pronunciations of the real words, if you listen to like things phonetically, Aang would be pronounced Ang in the original language. Mm-hmm. So like I would understand. So there's like little
original
contentious
language
things.
being English or
Oh my god, you make me sick.
American
dude.
show, English creators,
With
or
Asian influences, you fucking piece of shit.
Asian influence still in
Tell
American
me where
show,
Katara is
or-
in the English language.
Good point. Or baby molding, or
All right.
Hey,
all right.
hey, Nunmanji, do you see this? You see this manipulation happening again? It's very sad.
So I have a question for you guys.
Okay.
Well,
Hit me with it. Slap me with it.
basically,
Slap me in
are
the
there
face.
any anime and manga properties that you would think of as interesting if they happened? Like, not necessarily that you want to happen, but that you might be interested in seeing it.
Sorno Toshimono, hot girls, please. I'm kidding.
No.
That's a joke.
3D
Nisekoi,
girls are not hot, though.
Hot girl. Okay, I'm kidding.
Koe no Katachi would be interesting to see.
Okay.
Because it's more grounded and it's short enough to, like, make it a thing.
Sorry, I thought of something. I thought of something
What?
funny.
What?
No, hold on,
What?
hold on.
Say it!
Hold on! I'm gathering my thoughts. Okay. So first of all, I'm gonna
maybe like
Oh, then go.
oh, go ahead.
No, you go.
Maybe a race could work as a live action because it's like it's not that
Oh, yeah.
long, and it's also like
Maybe.
like with the mystery kind of thing. I feel like maybe some kind of American person could like get into
I'd be
the idea
curious
of what it's
as
doing
see,
to really.
I would be want
play
to
with
see
it.
what because a big part of Erased is like the criminal justice aspect, which like centers around a very like Japanese like criminal justice system. So I'd be interested in seeing what an adaptation of that would
Oh.
be for America, because I feel like it would have to completely change certain aspects of it, right, while still keeping that spirit. So that would be interesting.
So
Craftsdwarf.
I mean, it could go really badly if the wrong
definitely.
person got it
Definitely.
and like kind of downplayed the police or whatever. But
yeah,
I don't know.
So some of these are hard for me because there's a lot of series that I'm interested in. But like I would even mention that would have already been turned into live action things. I think for one, delinquent series inherently make very good live action series. So something like Rookies, which I think already has a live action series. I'm pretty sure Tokyo Revengers has one as well. I'm pretty sure Crows and Worst also have live action series. And I think that like delinquent manga makes for very good would ideally make for a very good live action series, right?
Should I have specified American live action series? Or,
you specified American. Okay, so
I should have. Sorry.
So for American, and this does have a Japanese one, I went back to Zack Snyder and thinking about it and like what does Zack Snyder make? And even though this already has a Japanese live action movie, I would actually love to see Zack Snyder make a Kingdom movie. I think that with the way he did 300 and things like that, I actually think that he could do a really good job in the large scale battles that Kingdom have. And I think that a Kingdom movie by Zack Snyder or a series of Kingdom movies could be really interesting. Another one that I think could be cool,
and that would actually fit with Hollywood's current like appeal to China, thing, because so I'm just saying like it could actually like that's actually something that could feasibly happen, right?
I think another one that could be really good, that would also potentially could fit currently is Psychopaths. I think Cyberpunk is really big right now. I think Cyberpunk, the aesthetic, works very well in live action because it's very much based in these very bright lights and things like that. And I think that Psychopaths could actually have a really good live action adaptation in terms of like certain aspects, and I think it could do really well as well.
Okay.
So those are my answers.
Yo, it'd be kind of crazy. Give Zack Snyder fucking Getter Robo.
Please don't.
Dude, that'd be so funny. Imagine the lizard people, the dinosaur people coming in, flying in, and like everything's in slow mo. That should be hilarious.
No. He can do Kingdom.
Yeah.
He can do Kingdom.
Dude,
I don't know, not Zack Snyder
robot.
specifically, but one thing that maybe could work better as like a single 2-hour movie, Gunbuster.
Okay.
Because it's already fairly short as it is, and I think
Vindy accepts that, but not
the
fucking.
The only problem with Gunbuster, and this is actually the reason I'm going to say this is because I would say that it's not Gunbuster if this ain't true. Is that you have to find a woman to play Noriko that is as hot as Noriko is, and you have to have a scene as unbelievably goated. I know exactly where she's like rolling around in her room.
I know.
And it's just, oh my god, I had to pause the episode and go take care of business. Let me tell you what.
Anyway,
Gunbuster's the only anime I've ever had to do that for, but I had to work through some issues.
I just realized that it probably won't, because there was going to be a Monster HBO live action adaptation that didn't happen. I don't know exactly why. I did hear a rumor but now I think about it, it sounds like exaggerated. So I don't know, but I guess I would be interested in seeing a Pluto film adaptation or even a series live action would be cool if it had enough of a budget behind it for the CG and effects work and stuff for the robots. But that could be
give
cool.
Zack Snyder Monster.
Yeah, let's cram that into like a single 2-hour movie. That won't be a clusterfuck. I mean, maybe, I don't know.
Go. Oh my god.
Do you have any ideas, Nen, or thoughts?
I can't really I mean, I'm kind of interested in like the Yu Yu Hakusho adaptation that's gonna happen at some point.
I don't remember hearing about that one, or I forgot about it. But okay.
Yeah, I don't remember if it was like a movie specifically or if it was like a series, but it's a Netflix thing.
Okay.
Black Lagoon would be easy because it's literally just that.
Yeah, I was thinking about that because, like, especially when I mentioned earlier, like, Old Boy and Ichi the Killer are very specifically like, okay, they take place in contemporary times and like sort of they're criminal stories. So like it's easy to like ground. It already fits with a lot of stuff that, especially Hollywood. Even though those two examples weren't Hollywood. But I'm
trying to think of like a really fucked up hilarious answer. Like fucking dude, when is the live action Ava happening anyway? When is it happening? When is it happening?
Shin Ultraman is later this year.
Oh, you're right. My bad. Whoopsies. All right, then fake headliner for Elliot.
All right. Anyway, do we have any more topics on live action adaptations, or shall we move on to what we've been doing lately and watching? And
Porn parodies are not very good.
None. What have you been up to?
Ayo! He's been up to being
I haven't
cute.
completed any. Well, actually, no, I did complete something, but I don't want to really talk about it. I guess I want to talk about how I've been like rereading Demon Slayer and like.
Wait.
I don't know why I called it Demon Slayer. I usually call it Kimetsu, but
why don't you want to talk about the thing you completed?
He hates
I mean, I liked it a lot. It made me cry, but I don't know. I just didn't want to talk about it.
Well, no. Is it the thing that has to do with your current profile picture on Discord?
No.
Wait, then what was
Is
the
it
other thing you completed?
The thing that you tweeted about lately on your thread of things you finished?
Yeah, it was just a movie.
Oh, I thought you were saying you don't want to talk about Birth by Sleep.
I mean, I completed the final episode, but I'm not done because I didn't get the secret thing yet. So.
Oh, okay. Sorry then. Continue.
Yeah, I want to talk about Kimetsu because I reread the district arc. I don't remember what it's called. The one that's after the Mugen Train arc.
The Red Light District is what I remember it as. So
Ninjas.
Yeah, Mugen Train.
Ninjas.
hot ninjas.
I thought the district arc was like really fucking good. Like actually, like
I like it better than Mugen Train.
me too.
I would
Nunmanji,
agree.
let's clap. Let's high five.
However,
1, 2, 3,
I
go.
think. Well, never mind. Because okay, wait, hold on. Is Nezuko talking? Is that in that arc or the next? No, that's in the Sword Village arc, right?
Awesome, spoiling the anime onlys. I mean,
Shush.
Yeah,
they
what
deserve
the
rights.
heck?
Cringe.
The 5-year-olds won't go get.
Yeah. Learn to read next time, kid. Okay, never mind. So I would say that I would agree that overall District is better, but I think that Mugen Train has Mugen Train has a moment that I like more. If that makes sense. Like I like the best moment in Mugen Train more than the best moment in the District arc. This guy's cringe.
Oh well, you're cringe.
You're cringe.
Okay, whatever. Shut up.
Yeah.
Anyway, go
I'll
ahead,
if
Nun.
you do.
Ignore them. They suck.
Ignore them, please.
I just thought that like the district arc perfectly like built off of Mugen Train because like everything that was going on with Tanjiro and the three and Inosuke and Zenitsu, where after Rengoku's death, they're obviously like a lot more determined to not let any demons kill people or like Zenitsu. I don't know why I can't say his name now.
Zenitsu.
He is still like obviously a scaredy cat, but they mention how he's always like he's not whining about training anymore. He's like always doing his missions even by himself, and like in the district arc he was like super fucking cool. Like he was even Inosuke commented on him being cool because he was basically saying not to give up, and like it's cool how him getting braver while he's awake even affects his like sleep, like when he's sleeping, because like even though when he's awake he's not as cool as when he's sleeping, just because he got a little bit like when he got better when he was like awake, his sleeping personality I guess is like even cooler now, I guess, because like he definitely didn't act like that before when he was sleeping, I guess. And there was also like really good stuff with whatchamacallit.
Who's that? Oh,
Someone's dog.
you're my fucking dog.
Hey,
Quiet. Don't
if
put
I'm
the
your
shock
dog,
collar
I'm
on you.
bending over, bitch. Come here.
What the fuck? I'm not a white woman.
White women,
Hello?
dogs don't bend over for them. They bend over for their dogs. Are you fucking dumb? Do you not
Dude,
understand?
maybe you're dumb, honestly.
Do you not
I think
understand how
about it.
sex fundamentally
I'm not.
works?
I don't fuck. How fuck dogs, Vindy?
Do you not? Okay,
I
well,
don't
I have a
fuck
question
dogs,
for you.
Vindy.
How many blocks are there?
Huh?
How many blocks are there?
Why are you asking me that?
How many blocks are there?
I guess to continue what I was saying,
Your
but like
problem, dude. You're so weird. Not you, Nunmanji. You're a precious child.
I really like the stuff when they were infiltrating the culture of the red light district, and how they're disguised as the girls, and they kind of lived, like, they got to see what was going on with, like, the culture around the place. And, when the demons die later on, you obviously learn that because of the negative kind of, like kind of the shitty conditions in general around that that area that we were already seeing before, we kind of, like, it, like, builds to their, to what they went through. So it's like, even if I didn't really know, like even if I didn't get that information earlier while they were, like, antagonists, and, like, it was only afterwards, like, I feel like it kind of really built on finally seeing that. So it was, like, super good. I really liked the moment where Tanjiro and everyone were reminded of Rengoku based on something that that was said. Like, I don't know. I just thought it was, like, a super good continuation of the Mugen Train arc. Like, and just, like, everyone, like, actually succeeding this time with killing the demons. This is a little too much spoilers, I guess, for people who watch the anime, but
fuck them. They need to learn how to read.
I really liked the little short story about Inosuke. How, his origins of being raised by boars, but, like, they explain how he could actually speak, and he ended up just basically, like, visiting this old man and kind of, like, bullying this guy who didn't want him around. Like, the grandson didn't want Inosuke around, and Inosuke basically, like, told him to shut up, and, like, to the grandson, he obviously just looked like some weird animal thing. I don't know. I thought that little chapter was funny, and I hope that the anime actually puts it in, even though it was, like, just a little bonus chapter. I thought it was really cool how Tanjiro ended up learning something from, like he basically says how Urdaki's method of using the sword isn't suited for him, and so it isn't as powerful, but then, like, later on he recognizes that it's still useful to him because he should combine it with the Hinokami Kagura technique that he eventually picks up from his family. So it's kind of like, he's making use of what he got from his, like, new family in a sense, and, like, from his old family. So it was like, it was a really good moment when he was using both of them. It was just, like, a really good arc in general. I really liked it. I liked the demons themselves. I mean, I remember I used to, like, I used to kind of have a problem with the demons because I thought not knowing much about them until they died wasn't that great. But, like, I feel like you could, I mean, I was definitely at least picking up more about them, even based on how they acted as demons, and, like, with how the arc, we saw where they grew up, basically. And so it was just really good. I liked it a lot.
Neat.
Neat.
So are you, like, enjoying Tanjiro as a main character a lot more this time around, and think that, like, you're seeing stuff in him that was
time
you went through?
It is kind of, I guess, cringe how I didn't like it more, because, like, it just has, like, aspects that I like in stories in general, like, with Naruto, where he's, like, obviously, like, understanding even the antagonists, and
I mean, I wouldn't say it's that cringe, because, like, again, like, I even wasn't super into I wasn't super into Kimetsu my first read through. Like, I liked it, but I didn't like it as much as I ended up on a reread. So I think it's fine. I definitely would. I don't know if you would say this, but I would definitely think Kimetsu's a manga that people should reread, because I think it's really good on a reread.
I definitely agree. Everything connects better, like a lot better, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Even, like, Rengoku, where I kind of thought, like, he was only around for a very short amount of time, so I was like, should they really, like, have this, like I kind of didn't get why Tanjiro and everyone else, like, you know, obviously, like, I don't think they shouldn't like him,
He's a
but
cool
it was
guy.
kind of like, I wouldn't be sad over some. I don't know. It's hard to describe, but it's like I just felt like he wasn't around long enough to where the story kind of built up this important role for him, and like why he's like I just didn't get why he was so great. You know, I don't think he's like the greatest or like a character I really like, but I do think there's a lot more there than I initially like assumed, and you know, I don't really think that just because he was around for a short amount of time that necessarily says anything, because in a lot of ways during the fight specifically, Tanjiro and everyone else kind of learned a lot from him, and kind of Rengoku in a lot of ways is what Tanjiro wants to be. So like there's just a lot of ways that make sense to why they kind of view him that way. But yeah, it was cool.
Whoa.
Well, what, bitch?
I'm just saying, whoa, what do you want from me?
What?
Why
Your
are you like
turn!
hating? You're so rude to me.
No,
You're
it's
so
your turn.
rude.
Talk.
And you're mean to me. You're so
Talk.
rude. And you're hurting my feelings.
All right,
And
skip
you know
what?
what?
Let Vindy go.
No. This is my reaction to what Vinny just did. And that's what we're going to talk about today.
Oh, Yozakura.
Oh,
I'm not
yeah.
current on Yozakura.
I'm
careful.
caught up to it now.
I'm not current, so don't spoil me.
Yeah.
Hey, how much do you think this fucking manga made me cry, Craftsdwarf?
All
a
the time.
lot
All
because
the
you're
time.
a little bitch.
I mean,
And
so
I love
I'm
it.
not current. When I was current, it was my top 5 in Jump.
It's probably,
It's like One Piece, MHA, Doctor Stone.
Are you caught
like
up,
to my top
Craftsdwarf?
Yeah, I'm caught up. I think
Okay.
it's my. I mean, it's one of my favorite things to read weekly, and it's probably my 4th favorite series in the magazine right now. So.
Okay, look at those. Look at those what I just sent. As I'm
Mutsumi-
bawling
Mutsumi is
like a
so
fucking...
cute.
Oh, God.
The
Mutsumi
fucking
is
page.
amazing.
I
God,
don't know
she's
what
so
page.
good.
I don't know if you saved it. What the page where it's her and the fucking loogie whale.
Yeah,
and she's
the fucking
doing the
that one's so
poses
good.
And the whale is also doing them. Is like one of the best.
The
opening
one that,
pages
like,
in
here's the thing, right?
chapter.
Fucking Taser Logan spammed that fucking panel every single day that I was following him on Twitter, and I never understood the context. I just know it kept happening, and then I came up
There
upon
is
it.
no
It was
context
way
'cause
earlier than I
it's
thought it
the
would.
first page in a chapter. It's just like the first page.
No,
in a chapter.
yeah, the author of Yozakura is very good at having these first pages that are just very eye-catching, and you're like, okay, what the fuck is going on? I should probably read this to find out, right? Like, and
It's
that,
just that,
like,
and I was like, fuck.
like, yeah, here's Mutsumi making poses with an aquarium, and her boyfriend's like, what the fuck's going on? And it's just very cute,
found
and
Look at the loogie
She's also just
whale.
like it's so good, but also like her faces in general are just God.
Oh my god. She's
God,
she's also
God.
just a queen in how she acts all the time. I love
all
her.
the time, dude.
All
Oh my
the
god.
time. Every
She's
chapter
so
is so fucking happy.
Look at her face. Look at her fucking
Yes!
blush. It's so good.
Yes.
God,
I love
you talk.
her.
I want to talk about it, but I want you to talk about it first, because. But anyway, so yeah.
God. So yeah, it like kind of got me fucking immediately, right? It's just so good the way it handles the whole family thing.
Yeah.
But I like how he like does like it's almost like a sort of Kenichi thing where he's like learning from each of them by bonding with them. Nunmanji understands this reference where they're like, you know, they're hanging he's hanging out with each of them like learning about their struggles. And even though he's like technically like the weakest one in the house, he's still able they still like rely on him for certain things. And it's really cool. He like sympathizes with them, makes them, you know, like learns more about them, and he, you know, they accept him as part of the family. And why is the brother such a fucking
Bro,
tell him to calm down.
He's so funny.
Goat.
Tell
Amazing
him to calm
character.
So I have a question. Is it cringe? Is it cringe if I think this one's really hot? If I think the gamer girl's really hot?
No, she is hot.
She's pretty hot.
She's
yeah.
extremely
Not
hot.
as good as Mutsumi. Okay.
What do you
I
think
know,
about
not as good, obviously.
Ayaka, I think, the needle girl, who I immediately loved.
The simp.
So
Dude, she's just kind of there now. It's so
No,
funny.
yeah, but well, she is with the like she's a maid, and I really like that they
Yeah, she's a maid.
incorporated her into like a position where she could have more
Yeah.
screen time. But you know, she hasn't gotten a lot even since her first chapter. But well, no, she's gotten like a couple chapters.
God.
But,
this
Oh
is
my
another
God,
example of
Vindy.
a great first page to a chapter
so funny.
that just hits you with it. You're like, what the fuck is going on this chapter? Here's another just great Mutsumi face. I mean, phenomenal.
And
phenomenal manga. No, I love it. I actually think it's look, I actually would say, and I am behind on all these mangas, so this could be wrong. But I wouldn't be surprised if this opinion holds when I catch back up to everything. I think that Mission Yozakura Family, at least I like it more than both Mashal and Undead Unluck.
Yeah.
Oh, obviously.
Easily the most underrated manga in the magazine right now.
Probably.
Well,
yeah. I mean, I don't get a
but
lot of other opinions,
it won my
but,
poll though. It won the poll that I had though, because I was asking what I should read first, and it won like by a landslide.
Well, that's because I voted
like
on like 2 accounts.
no, there was like 100 fucking votes for that poll or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was like a lot of people that wanted me to read it, and good on them because now it's like.
Yeah. And real quick,
because
I just want to say, it's a great time to catch up to the manga because it basically just finished its first big arc.
Yeah.
So what I've been waiting
that's
for.
That's why
it
bothers me that you're not caught up
over
because
a
it's like,
year?
Vindy, it's been doing what you've wanted to for like weeks now.
Vindy.
I don't know
Catch up.
how long
Vindy.
it was. I feel like
Vindy.
it was like a year. I was talking to
Vindy.
Crafts about Yozakura and like, I love Yozakura, but I want it to get to its arc because I know it's going to come. I know it's going to slap. And I know it's going to be god tier.
Vindy, you know what's more fucked up though? The arc is finished, and then it immediately hits you with a chapter that just like starts stabbing you in the heart real fucking fast. And I'm like, oh, thank you for that.
I haven't read today's chapter. I'm not caught up. Oh fuck, I forgot. I haven't read.
Yeah, I haven't
today.
read
You
Dr.
fool.
Stone or MHA for today.
Yeah, because like right now, Dr. Stone's my favorite thing in the magazine right now
Fair.
because it's in my top 10 favorite manga of all time now because it made
It's
me
very
cry
good.
like baby.
Very good.
But like I think it's like Dr. Stone,
MHA.
Black Clover, MHA.
You're so cringe.
Why? What? Why am I cringe?
Because
am I cringe?
MHA has like been 10 out of 10 for the last like, I don't know, 20 weeks running.
I just said MHA, you cringe lord.
MHA is so good. Are we gonna pretend
You're
like
such
it's
a
not
fucking.
top
So I'm
tier?
cringe because I like it. Okay, Vindy.
When
That's
is Weekly
standards.
Shonen Jump gonna be our topic for an episode? I say next.
When you stop breathing, thank you.
Hey, you don't have to
Hey.
ask me twice.
That is a good topic idea, but also you're not caught up to the
Alright,
magazine,
let's
so
go.
do you matter?
Yeah, but basically, I just really, really love the cast and how it handles the theme of family and shit. Oh, there he is. He's just looking at me. His fucking thing's glitching out. Good. Keep not breathing. Thank God. Finally. It's about time. Yeah, but I think like my top 5 in the magazine, in no order, right now, from what I'm reading, is Dr. Stone. Dr. Stone. I had like 5 names in my head when I said that.
Yeah.
Dr. Stone, MHA, Black Clover, Mission Yozakura Family, and Blue and Aonohako, which is currently publishing right now. Because of course it would be one of my favorite things in the magazine. Only because I'm
Well, they're all
Yes,
currently
with the
publishing, but I assume you mean that
Yeah.
Blue Box is newer.
right now, as in publishing right now. Like yeah, of the things that I like, because I'm caught up to Undead Unluck, and I'll talk about that because my patrons voted for me to talk about it on my monthly podcast thing on my Twitch, and I mean Undead Unluck sitting at an 8, so like that should tell you what I think of it. Mashal sitting at a 7, but otherwise easily Yozakura Family is like better than like most of the things. It's so good, make me cry like baby. Craftsdwarf.
So-
you need to read the latest chapter because
Okay.
those panels I showed you are literally just so good, impeccable.
Well, I'm
How
also
manga
I'm
gets
looking
real.
forward to at some point rereading Mission Yozakura because I've been keeping up with it weekly since chapter 10. So
Whoa, dude,
as
you're
much
so
as I
cool.
do like it, like it's just been almost 2 years since I caught up, like over a year and a half now. But one just little thing I like because I like the characters. The last arc was good. But I like, honestly, next to Nisekoi, it probably has the best use of, like, common romance tropes. Like, there was the one chapter where Mutsumi is making a recipe to make Tayo better, and it's like...
Oh my God,
It's like the
God.
whole she cook bad food chapter, but it was doing it in a fun, different way,
It's so
right?
cute when women
because it wasn't her
Bro,
fucking
what?
fault because like she's trying her best.
Right, and so aside from Nisekoi, I really can't think of any other series that use those kind of common tropes
Kuroko.
in interesting
K&B.
ways. Kuroko no Basket?
I think Kuroko does it well.
I haven't watched or read it.
Because I think the reason, so to explain really quickly, I think the reason Kuroko does it well is because she's their manager. And she's also like scarier than all these big fucking men on the team. So they like, all eat it because they're scared of her. But it's like, and I think the way Kuroko also does it is that it's like, I think like the way it works in series, I haven't seen it in a while, is that like what they're eating is like good for them to like have their muscles recover faster and be better at basketball and all that shit, right? But it's just like dog shit terrible to eat. So they're like actively dying, but it's actually good for them to eat, and I think that's a fun.
See, I know there's some other tropes that Mission used, that Yozakura used, but I can't remember aside from the food right now. But just
having a hot lady.
Well, no, I mean, okay, shut up.
All right, Simp.
Shut up.
What's your problem with me, huh?
But yeah, it's really good. It seems to be successful so far, and I'm curious as to how, well, is it going to get a good anime adaptation that makes it blow the fuck up? That'd be cool. It's really fun, and I like it.
Yeah, it's so good. God, I can't believe like I caught up to the latest chapter that just freaking published, and I was like, God, you gotta hit me with that. Ooh, you gotta hurt me.
Alright, I'm afraid now.
Yeah. Dog girl. Anyway, your turn, Vindy. You fucking whore.
I'm sorry, Craftsdwarf. You're gonna have to edit that sound out. Oh my god, that's funny.
What is he doing?
I don't know what I didn't know for a while what I was gonna do this week because I've been really busy with work. So I spent like all week thinking like, what the fuck am I gonna talk about, right? But I am gonna talk about Destiny 2. Which like cringe game, am I right? Got a lot of issues with Destiny 2, but a friend bought the newest expansion for me, and like if a friend's gonna spend like, $50 for $40 for me to play a game with them, it's like, okay, well, I'm not gonna not play. And I've bought all the other Destiny expansions on my own, so I had them all, and I've been catching up, and I played the story of the game, then we raided on Friday night. So I did Deepstone Crypt, which is the main raid of the newest expansion. Super sick raid, by the way. So like, what I ended up really liking about it was that like, the story of the game was bad. I did that while like watching a fucking like podcasts and shit, and just like played through it like because I was like, oh, I have an hour before work. Let me play through like half of the story. And it was like bad, and like the only thing I remember from the story of Beyond Light was that like there was a moment where I had a prompt to embrace my inner darkness, and that was when I gave up. But the story was super cool, or the raid was super cool, because the way that like Destiny raids work is it's 6 people, and there's like these encounters, right? So it's not like one long thing. Like it is like the raid took us like 2 hours, and we did have 2 new players who had to learn the mechanics, but the way that like a raid in Destiny works is there's like the one we did had 4 encounters. And so the encounters have some shared mechanics, but then each encounter is going to have its own unique mechanics. So the way that we did it when we had new players was people who knew the raid would explain how the mechanics worked and what the game plan was that we had to follow going into it. And so some raids or some of the encounters, like for example, with 6 people, we split up into 2 teams of 3. Some of them we split up into 3 teams of 2. One of them we were in a team of 2, a team of 3, and a solo person. And so there's a lot of like communication. And so it was really interesting because it was 2 hours of playing a PvE game where the entire time we were just talking and communicating about the actual game we were playing, right? And I think a lot of times, like, I mean, Kraus and I do co-op games, right?
And
because
we definitely have games like, and a lot of the time we're usually just chatting, but there are games where we have to like, or even parts like Elatrion was a stream where we only talked about the game.
Right.
The recent Binding of Isaac one where we tried to hold a conversation, but there was just so much going on. But anyway, go ahead.
Well, yeah, and I would say even then, we still talk more about other things more than the average, like we were able to try to have somewhat of a conversation about like Invincible, right? And
right,
BoJack
right.
In our most recent stream of Binding of Isaac.
Mm-hmm.
The Destiny raid's are completely different. I would actually say the calls are much closer to playing like a competitive PvP game, where like we're talking and it was like, for example, like just to explain like what like to give you like a sample of like one person's calls would be like, it would be like, okay, I have the nuke. I'm going front left. I'm dropping op. Someone needs to grab it. Like we're actually just only making calls about what needs to be done and what we're doing in terms of the raid, and in terms of the mechanics. And so I actually thought it was really fun and really cool to be playing a game where I was having to work with 5 other people, and like actively try to actually try and like kind of sweat a little bit to beat it, right? In a co-op game, and that's fun. And I think that there aren't many co-op games that I feel that, because I think a lot of times PvE games, right, it's either like, okay, well, it's like Monster Hunter where, you know, I kind of just turn my brain off at this point. Maybe it's a Latreon, but like if I cart twice in Monster Hunter, I just decide it's not my day and I come back a later day, right?
Right, like the one stream where we like failed 2 quests and then
yeah,
we're like,
where
okay,
we like got shit on by Valstrax. I've beaten Valstrax like 5 times in that game, but that stream, it just was not our day. We got shit on and we ended, right?
Right.
And so I think that like, that was really fun, was playing like the raid. And there's other raids that we have a group now, and we're probably gonna be raiding like once a week. On the game has I think 4 raids currently, so we're gonna be doing all of those. And I'm really excited to get to the other ones because I really liked the one we did, and I'm excited to try out the other ones in the game. And I thought it was just like a really fun experience, like doing that, because I don't know the last time I played a PvE game and like actually had to communicate, right? Like so often it's like when you're playing PvE, right?
Right.
Like if I were to play like Left 4 Dead with like IRL friends, right? It would just be like we're just shooting the shit, right? Talking about random bullshit while like shooting zombies, you know, or something else. And I think it was really fun to actually have to have 6 people all communicating and talking about mechanics and only communicating about the actual, you know, thing we were doing in game for 2 hours. And it was super sick, and the raid was super cool. And so, yeah, I mean, I really liked it. And also, I mean, that was the only thing I did this week, so I don't have anything else to talk about.
Imagine.
Shut up! Shut your fucking mouth!
Imagine Destiny.
I guess the other thing I could say is that, I mean, E3's
You're
been
a
going
whore.
on, and I've been streaming watching E3.
And you're a whore.
And that's been fun.
It'll be over by the time this episode goes up, I think.
Yeah, but
unfortunately,
I'll
so.
probably make a YouTube video that is like my wrap-up of E3, where I go over all the press conferences. I'll probably rank them.
But Vindy doesn't make videos.
Each did well and each
Yeah.
did bad.
Quote Vindy.
Yeah, but none made a video, and he's been telling me to make a video, and I keep DMing him no, but I'll probably do it because I like making my boyfriend happy.
Oh.
Oh.
Craftsdwarf, you go.
I yesterday sat down, and for 11 fucking
Sat down.
episodes,
That's the important part.
I
Let's
watched just a dude in a room with a bunch of other sweaty guys get really fascinated with a bunch of balls falling into the holes. That's right. It was Kaiji season 2, The Bog. So basically, I finished my rewatch of Kaiji, the anime adaptation for parts 1 and 2. It's still really fucking good.
It's so good. I love the bog.
No, actually, what surprised me is I'd say it's my favorite game, at least excluding parts 3 through 5, because I haven't, and obviously excluding One Pokers, which is obviously my favorite. But it's like, which I've been saying for years, E-Card was my favorite game, and then even after One Poker, I was like, oh, well, E-Card's my favorite game aside from One Poker, and now I'm like, no, I think I like the Bog the best. And I realized the reason that I didn't like it as much the first time was because watching I don't know why I still felt that way even reading the manga, but watching it in the anime the first time, I think I was burnt out. Because Vindy, the first time I watched the anime, I watched all 25 episodes in one day. So, I think by the end I was a little tired. But this time I just watched only, like, once Kaiji sat down to the Bog. Like, all the prep stuff I watched earlier. But, the Bog is fucking wild. Like, it takes place over, like, 7 hours or so, I think. And it's basically just, like, a dude playing pachinko with this horrible, like, shitty, cheating, bullshit pachinko machine. And it is
he's
fucking
doing
amazing.
Insane levels of, like, that's the thing about the Bog that gets me. And that's what I think is so good about the Bog specifically, as opposed to maybe any other Fukumoto Gamble I've ever read, is that the levels of preparation that these motherfuckers went into before the Bog that slowly gets revealed throughout the course of the Bog as, like, they go further and further into the gamble. And it's like, okay, I'll just reveal one of them really quickly.
Not the big one, preferably, but go ahead.
Is the big one the? Hold on, let me DM you.
Yeah, that's the big one, Vindy.
Oh, okay. Then I don't know. I mean, just they literally like there's the big one that Kraus was gonna say is one of the most insane psychopathic things I think I've ever seen in my life.
I think it's just,
and when they say that that's what they did, I lose my shit.
I think it's a very strong example of out of the box thinking. Because holy fuck, Kaiji's brain is so fucking massive.
Like, oh my fucking god!
And it has various effects on the bog as well, like not just the initial one. Like it basically like it's so important to how it plays out that I just don't want to mention it just on the off chance you haven't watched Kaiji, because holy shit, you should.
I almost love though that, like, I don't know about you, but I think that like my favorite part about the bog is the way they win. Because it's like all this preparation and all this stuff isn't what won it for them, right? Isn't what won it for Kaiji. It was the fact that he like didn't give up and just kept fucking sprinting it, right? Because like you know how he eventually won, and like it I feel like the reason it works so well is because it wasn't just Kaiji, you know, he came in with all this because like that preparation's a big part of Kaiji Part 2. Preparation is how he wins the first gamble. But the second gamble, it's not just preparation. It's preparation and
persistence.
It's persistence. Yeah, it's the fact that he doesn't give up, and he literally wins through fucking ramming his head into this brick wall, and the brick wall gives way before his fucking skull does.
Right. No. Yeah, Kaiji in general it's a really great series. It's probably one of my favorites, especially considering like one of the manga parts that happens later that is just, and the current ongoing one is also really fucking good. I'm looking really forward to just reading it all in one go, because I've never done that. Like I was telling Vindy, like I caught up to Kaiji parts way during, I think very early part 4, I think. So for like what is now like half the series, I have either been, I haven't gone through and read the entire thing since that point, basically. So I'm looking forward to going back and doing it. It's like, I'm just a big fan of Fukumoto's works in general. I also like Akagi, and I'm looking forward to reading all of that in full. Kurosawa is really great. Or Strongest Man Kurosawa. Like, he's just done a bunch of good manga, and Kaiji is maybe my favorite, like, probably. I mean, I guess it's my favorite. I'm just gonna say that. Yeah, I realized. And it's, it's a gambling manga. So if you watch the Liar Game episode or aware of that, like, I definitely, like, I think Kaiji is just, like, better in basically every way, personally. And this is coming from the guy who likes Liar Game the most. Right, I think the gambles are interesting. How they sort of like act as allegory for life, is a major factor. Kaiji's a good character.
Society.
His antagonists are they're also really notable.
Sorry, continue.
Go ahead.
I need you to do me a favor, Craftsdwarf.
Maybe.
Do you remember a long time ago I told you my take that is every new chapter of Part 6 I think it's true. About, I think, like, the big thematic through line from parts 3 through 6, in terms of, like, friendship and bullshit like that, like, with Kaiji and how it, not necessarily friendship, but, like, you know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about? Can you make a video on that? Because I'm not good enough to, and I want you to, so that I can cry
I have a
and
few things I could talk about. See, with Kaiji, it's I think it's less of an issue for me than, like, Sangatsu, but it's, like...
Right.
There's so much to talk about. It's a matter of finding the best way to frame a potential video.
Okay,
and with Kaiji, I do think it's way easier than Sangatsu, because Sangatsu is about so much that I can't decide about what to talk about at all. But with Kaiji, I think it's much more clear for me. It's just a matter of deciding how I eventually want to do it. And if I do it, it'll be after I read the manga. Because even if I talk about the, I might just do it where, kind of like other series I plan, where I literally just go through game by game and break down each one, which makes part 6 difficult, because it's not really in that same way, but at least for the first 5 parts, it'll be manageable. But I definitely want to talk about it in some way, because I think it's really good.
Let's fucking go!
And it's it's still the anime specifically, I wouldn't say is one of my favorite anime, but like part of that is just because like the manga gets so good later that it's hard for me to go like You know,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, the bog's a 10 out of 10 anime, but like, you know, the manga is just more of a 10 out of 10. Like, it's just hard. Obviously, I said the bog, but it's like there's 2 games in season 2.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's really hard to, I think, like, it's just so hard, especially because, like, yeah, there's like 2 gambles in part 2. And part 5 is 1 gamble that was led up to for 2 parts prior. So it's just so hard to top.
And it's
part
also
5
16 volumes where
Yeah.
part 4 was 10 volumes and the other parts were 13 volumes. So it's like it's 1 gamble that is single-handedly longer than every other part of the series. Right? So it's just it's kind of insane. But even like how he uses like metaphor and certain analogies he'll use to like get across the game and like get at the emotions especially is really good. Like there's one in part 2 where it's sort of represented as like the antagonist is in a fortress with like heavy machine guns, but there's so many infantry coming at him and they keep reviving and like he can't do anything at the end of the day. And you know, and there's some sillier ones from later, like Mikey, I think it was Mikey the monkey. Like I don't remember the context for that one. But I don't know. It's a very bingeable anime, so like I would be careful about watching it because you might not be able to stop. Because I think Kaiji Part 2 is like the most of any single anime I've ever watched or any single thing really that I've watched in a single day, because I watched it all in one day, and I don't think I've ever been able to do that. And I didn't do it recently, but I did sit down and watch all 11 episodes in one sitting, which I don't normally do at all.
Yeah, that's not a normal Craftsdwarf.
No. So like, you know, it's just very bingeable. It's really good. The biggest problem with the anime even does stop off on a really great place, even if like obviously it's still part of this bigger that's ongoing story. But I do think it's like, you know, if you stop there, it's not the end of the world, right?
Yeah.
Even though I think the manga gets so fucking good.
It's funny because I was going to bring up, I did join Discord, and I talked about this on stream, so I don't feel bad saying this. I went and put together a Nunmanji Discord server Smash tournament, and so I said, Crafts, question for you. If there was a Nunmanji server Smash tourney that I streamed, would you participate? And this man responds and says, I could, but you were the one who gave me shit about not watching the bog in one sitting, so here I am trying to watch it in one sitting.
I'm literally like, they're getting into it, and I'm like, getting DM'd by Vindy. It's like, Vindy, I just want to fucking watch the bog. Let me watch anime. Stop DMing me. And it wasn't like, yeah, it's like in August. I thought he was, well, you were streaming, so I'm like, oh, does he literally want to do this today? Like later, like, hello, I'm watching the bog. Vindy, let me watch anime.
Right.
Well,
I just thought it was
anime
funny
cringe.
because, yeah. And that's also your cue to join the Nunmanji server if you want to participate in the Nunmanji server.
Cringe.
Super Smash Brothers Ultimate Tournament.
Super Smash Brothers Ultimate Tournament that'll happen probably in August at some point, because I very much want to do it, and I think it'd be really fun content-wise.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of basically I think please watch and or read Kaiji, because it is phenomenal if you have not somehow heard about it or checked it out, because it's really good. Did you have anything to say about it, Vindy? Or
not anything more about Kaiji, but here's what I will say. Please don't only watch Kaiji. Fukumoto has a lot of really good stories that I think all are very great in different ways. Akagi's anime is phenomenal as well, and is fine if you're just an anime watcher. Akagi's manga is fantastic. Ten is fantastic.
And he said if you're subhuman, dude.
Kurosawa, The Legend of the Strongest Man Kurosawa is what it's called, is amazing. Bird and Guy is great. I mean, I really think everything that Fukumoto does is just
he didn't draw it, but he did do I know you haven't read it, Vindy. Life or Saison. He wrote it though, and it's also really that one's pretty different. In that like it's sort of about a guy who's looking into the death of his daughter and trying to sort of bury that past. It's really good, and I like just look up Fukumoto's mangography. You could probably anything in there is going to be interesting, because I mean he has a very distinct style, and I guess like that's the thing is if his style just isn't for you, then you know you're not going to like his stuff. But does a lot of good stuff, and it's quick to read too. So part 5, 16 volumes. I read that in one evening.
Yeah, absolutely.
That is like it's pretty, and this was for my first time, and so it's just a really quick read overall. So I definitely think Yeah.
Yeah, and I think on top of that, so two quick other... I mean, Fukumoto's my favorite mangaka, so I will shill his manga any opportunity I get. I fucking love Fukumoto. I think his style is so good, bleeds through into everything he does. He has a very clear outlook on life that I think also is a part of almost all of his manga and stories. And then I think that, like, on top of that, it's like the only manga of his that I think would be marginally improved by fully knowing the rules of Mahjong is 10, but it's okay for 10 because the best part has no Mahjong in it at all. I see a lot of talk about Akagi's just a Mahjong manga, or Kaiji's, like, it's into Mahjong, and, like, people think they have to know the rules of Mahjong. The way that Fukumoto writes, especially Akagi and the Mahjong part of Kaiji, you do not have to know Mahjong to get everything out of it. It is so clear what is happening, everything is explained in the gamble, and it's very much like to give a poker equivalent, and not like the way Fukumoto did a poker, but to give like an actual poker equivalent, right? So if you're playing Texas Hold'em, right, and say I have 10 king, right? Already potentially I could have a straight. The river comes and the first river has a queen, a jack, and so it's like, okay, well I need the ace, right? And so I'm sitting here and I'm saying I need the ace. If I have the ace, I have a straight, right? Basically, the manga would make it very clear. Like, it would say, like, he needs the ace. If he gets the ace, he has the winning hand. It's not beaten, right? And so then those last two cards with the river being turned, it makes it very obvious that they're being turned and is it the ace. So you don't need to know poker to understand, even in the way that I just explained it there, I'm looking for the ace to have the winning hand, right? And that's how he writes his Mahjong as well.
Nerd.
So you don't have to actually know the rules of Mahjong to get into Akagi, or to get into Kaiji, or even to get into 10. And I think that with that, you shouldn't let that be your barrier of entry to getting into his manga, because I think it's more than worth it about it.
And again, the way he uses metaphor and it sells the emotions, I think it very much like works without knowing the actual game. Like, obviously he explains the rules for the games that he makes up, like especially Kaiji, obviously. But for the ones that, like Akagi, even Akagi has like variances and stuff that happen, but right. Like the main match in Akagi is a variant of Mahjong that will definitely like stop to explain certain things because it's different, right? So, it's very good. Check out Fukumoto's stuff, especially Kaiji. I think Kaiji is probably the most successful because it makes original games. But again, Akagi is also really good. And I think the only thing that I've read that is the earlier parts of 10 where he doesn't quite get at the emotions as well. And so that one I do think you need to know, or maybe don't need to.
I think all you would need for 10, like the way that the order I did it as someone who had no idea Mahjong, is I watched Akagi, then read 10. And the small amounts of Mahjong you pick up from watching Akagi will allow you to understand enough that you need to in 10 to get to the actual part that's why people love 10, which is the final 3 volumes.
Yeah. But anyway, I think that about covers it for... It was about Kaiji, but I guess it ended up being about Fukumoto.
Nerds.
Yeah.
Read Fukumoto manga. It's so good. He's so insane.
Nerds.
It's actually criminal that Craftsdwarf and I are the only Fukumoto fans in the Weeb Club.
That's because the other two, none and but what hate us.
Clearly.
Anyway.
Literally my favorite mangaka.
I guess we should probably wrap the episode.
It's not Taikubo, so I don't care.
Cringe.
Sad.
One good manga, one failure. Jump canceled both.
I look forward to the live action Bleach Hollywood film directed by Zack Snyder.
Dude, actually, I'd be down for that.
I wouldn't want it directed by Zack Snyder.
Dude, have you... Okay, I didn't get to say this, but I actually kind of like the live action Bleach adaptation. It's actually really fun to watch. I had a good time. So, can't even get me with that shit. Can't even piss me off with it.
Yeah?
All right.
What if I said it was better than the manga because it actually ended?
Thank you for listening, and we will see you next time. I hate you all.
Adios, muchachos.